What's going on, YouTube? I'm back here again with the great MX5, aka the Miata, and we going on a lovely ass drive today, I hope. The road should be pretty empty, and I think every time I get in this car, it just reinvigorates me to want to drive even more and take some roads and just relax and blow off some steam, which I'm gonna do today before I head back out of town to go to work. I did do some research on the new refresh of this model here. The ND2 is what I currently have right now, and the ND3, I think that's what they're gonna call it from all intents and purposes, will have a bit of a refresh, a bit of an upgrade. To me, somewhat of a downgrade as far as like adding some extra technology in it. But I'll go over that with you guys as we take a drive on the roads. I have to go to the bank and run an errand or two, so I figured why not make a video. I did do an 8.6 video last time, so I got to show my Mazda Miata fellas some love, and the fellow enthusiasts that watch either one of these videos, either one of my videos, can show you that both cars are they're just fantastic, man. And for the new 2024 Miata, I got a little bit of a gripe about this car, about the car that's coming out, and I'll just go over that briefly with you, and also let you know, like, should you get that one or should you get an older version, an ND2? I can't say anything about the ND1 because I believe that one is a bit slower than this one currently is at 181 horsepower. I think the other one the ND1 has 150. Correct me if I'm wrong in the comment section. I can't quite remember. But the ND3 will have some of these buttons filled up, as you can see. I don't know if you can see it or not, but I will be cutting this off for now. I do keep lane keep assist off because it gets a bit annoying. But they will have a track mode right here. There will be a button for track mode, and they will have an I-stop button. I think that's Mazda's version of emergency brake assist. And honestly, bro, I don't like emergency brake assist that much, because especially on this car, what would you need? I don't think you would need an emergency brake assist in a manual car that's doing 180 horsepower. But that's just me. But in my experience, I've had a 2020 Honda Civic Si for a few months, and one of the main reasons why I traded that car in, don't get me wrong, it was very fun to drive, for sure, and hit all the wickets that I wanted. It was fun, it was small, practical, toss around, whatever. But man, that car was, like, I would be cruising, right, and then, luckily, again, there was hardly any traffic around, but it would just randomly stop on me, and I'm like, what the heck is going on? And it'll send me the message, emergency braking system, and I'm looking around like, there are no cars here, like, there are no cars, like, what the heck? So I let it slide once, and then it happened again, and I'm like, okay, let me go to Honda and see what's really going on. So they checked it out, and they didn't see an issue. I'm like, dude, this car is stopping on me randomly. And what if it happens in the middle of traffic, and now I'm screwed? I could cause an accident, I could be part of an accident. So I was like, you know what, if it happens again, third time, I'm just gonna trade the car in. So it happened again, and I was like, okay, I'm just gonna trade the car in. So I ended up trading it in, and it sucks because I really like that car, but at the same time, I think the system is just not refined enough, and I don't trust these extra sensors in these cars, man, especially for a car this slow. There's no way I'm gonna do that. So I'm just not a fan of it. I think the ND3 will do well, as most Miatas do, in my experience, but I don't think you should definitely go for the ND3. And granted, with those extra features, if they have it in anything in a sports model or below, like in the Grand Touring model or below, now the car is going to cost more. So with the 23 Grand Touring model, you're paying like 32 grand. So I'm gonna venture off and say with these cars hitting the market next spring, most likely, I'm gonna say that these cars are gonna cost somewhere along the lines of 20. No, I said 20. That would be great if they did. I would say about 35, 36 grand. Just because of those extra features, the adaptive cruise control, the emergency braking, all those extra safety features is probably going to cost a pretty penny. And I haven't seen them announce anything with the Recaro package either, but I'm assuming that they're going to have a version with that Recaro package on there that will cost about 37, 38 grand, which at that point I don't think it would be worth it if you're just trying to get it to just have fun as a second or third car. But again, should you get the new one? Okay, if you want all those safety features, sure, but is it going to change any of the driving dynamics? Probably not. And for me, the driving dynamics of the car, if it doesn't change, go for it. Go get you a nice used Miata, especially with the winter coming in, right? These cars are going to get cheap because they're going to be sitting in most car lots for a few more weeks than they normally would because of the cold weather. Especially in my estimation, if you're watching on the East Coast, you already know when it snows, the sports cars get a little bit cheaper than they normally are. So I think you would be very you would be in a really good situation if you waited, got an older, maybe used model with less miles on it, and get something around 25, 26,000. I think even a club, not a club, a GT model with a little bit more creature comforts like heated seats and everything like that. For me, I didn't care about that stuff. I wish I did have an LSD, but right now I'm not even tracking the car, so it is what it is. I could always add that later. The modding community for this car is second to none. Just like your Subarus or your Mustangs or whatever, you'll find plenty of parts for this car. So getting a base model for like maybe 25 or below with like maybe a little bit of miles on it, I think would be your best bet. The newer model doesn't change anything. Anything 2018, I think, or higher would be your golden ticket, because you'll basically have the same power, the same horsepower, the same the same pretty much features across the board, other than that new iStop feature and adaptive cruise control. But in all honesty, adaptive cruise control is relative in this car. I don't think you really need it, because if you're going for a cruise, you're kind of controlling your speed anyway. And anything, for those of you who have Miatas, you already know anything past 75, the ride quality is just gonna change significantly, and it's not gonna be as great. You kind of want to be in the 65 to 75 miles per hour range when you're cruising anyway. And usually this car you're trying to use as I hate that this car was following me the whole time, but I mean, not following me, this car was in front of me, but if you're trying to get this car, most people that are getting this car is trying to get it to drive it, to really drive it spiritedly, a little more aggressive than trying to cruise around. And although it's great at that too, but most people get this car to have a little bit of fun with it. So yeah, I think that's ultimately why you should probably just get the ND2, because the ND3 just won't really do too much. I know they do add the LEDs being in the headlights rather than underneath the front lights or whatever, but I don't think that's a big deal. It's just not, fellas. ultimately you just want this car and you're gonna mod it anyway. So getting the ND3, the new colors don't really look that great. I think honestly the best color in this car right now is that orange that they came out with, and I would say the black is cool, and the red obviously natural red sports car look, that red is something else. But other than that, I mean, they're not really, that sand color is weird. I don't know why they would come out with that, but I think they brought out a deep green that similar to the older Miata, which I think is like the 90s or something like that. But I've seen a couple of those, the deep green with the tan interior. I think that's pretty legit. But other than that, you know, I don't think it's worth it, especially if it's over $35,000. I wouldn't do it. That's just me though. But I think that's all I got for you guys. This car, the ND2, when the ND3 does come out, I think this car will probably be one of the best bargains you can get, and I think there will be plenty of them to have. So do your research, look out there. I think ultimately this car is just going to have the way better value compared to most of these cars. And that's it, fellas. I think that's all I got. Let me know if you have this car, you planning on getting it, you plan on getting the ND3 or waiting for a refresh. The refresh doesn't seem like it's going to do that much. I think if you wanted those lights that bad, you would just, if you wanted those lights that bad, you could go get custom lights, I guess. But I don't think those lights are that important. The lights look good the way that they are now, in my opinion. So that's all I got. Please like, comment, and subscribe. And again, fellas, I appreciate the love. I'm just gonna enjoy this top-down weather. I mean, it's 50 degrees outside, and I still have the top down. This guy is really going slow. I'm gonna just enjoy it while I still can before this crazy weather gets here. But appreciate the love, fellas. I appreciate the new subscribers who have come in. But thank you, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.